guys, 681 Shadow. Welcome to our Week 2 match of the EBT, the Elite Battling Tourney, I believe. Something like that. But, I'm sorry for the Week 1 upload that, there's a bunch of stuff going on at that point. But, Week 2, we do have commentary now. We have commentary for this. We have a nice, cool layout here that you guys are seeing here, for the EBT. I'll shout out whoever made it. It'll be in the description. But, definitely very solid league. I'll be linking my opponent in the description below. I'm facing off against Shy, coach of the Minnesota Mimikyus. And we have a very interesting team for EBT. We have a triple weather core, and this week we're bringing our sand. But so just to go over the team, I actually just played this match just like a few minutes ago, and I'm recording this on the same day that it's supposed to go up, just because we had a bit of we had some complications in arranging this match to happen. But first off, we have our Rotom Heat here. Not really going to reveal anything about the Rotom Heat. You'll see why in the match. But next up, we have pretty standard Sand Rush Excadrill. We're running enough speed to outspeed Scarfadug Trio in the sand. And then we have the rest in HP, and we do have Choppleberry to deal with that Hitmonchan over there. So Excadrill can be doing a bunch of work in this match. And then next up we have the Hippowdon here, which is pretty standard with things like Slack Off, Whirlwind, Stealth Rock, and Earthquake. Defensive Mon, standard there. Then for the Togekiss, we're running specially defensive, standard specially defensive, so once again nothing too much there. Weavile, once again, is pretty standard. We have the Ice Shard, Icicle Crash, Knockoff, Poison. We have Poison Jab. So once again, nothing too much, nothing too special on these mons this week, unfortunately. And then lastly, we have Fortress, which is once again pretty standard. I'm not gonna reveal much about the Fortress either, but at least I think the Fortress is standard. It might not be, because I actually don't know too much about Fortress, because this is actually like my first time using it. But now we're gonna play the battle here. He's going to lead off with the Hitmonchan. I'm going to lead off with my Hippowdon here, getting sand up, and I know he's going to switch out here, so I'm able to get up my rocks turn 1. So that's really good for us here, as now he has entry hazard. So I'm going to switch out because he goes into a Slowking. I'm going to go into my special tank. That Scald Seed would just eat that Scald up. And now here we can go for a Dazzling Gleam. Probably should have went for Air Slash, try to get some flinches off. But he goes for an Ice Beam, doing 24. We still tank that very well. Togekiss is such a great, especially defensive mon. It's great. So he's going to switch out there, go into the Miltank as I click Air Slash. I get a crit there, which doesn't matter too much because he does have, he is outspeeding me here. So he's going to go for Milk Drink. And now my Air Slashes won't do, I won't be able to flinch him down since I am slower than him. I don't have speed investment on my Togekiss at all. But now we're going to go into the Excadrill as he goes for Milk Drink here. And I had to make a double on this turn. We're going to double out into Hippowdon. And the only reason I did this was because I wanted to scout to see if he had the Hammer Arm on the Miltank. Because Hippowdon would be able to take that reasonably well. And I wanted to make sure for the future, because we do want either Excadrill to sweep or Weavile to clean. Those are the main two things that I'm looking for in this game here. So I go into Hippowdon. He clicks Earthquake. Earthquake does nothing to a Hippowdon. So he's gonna switch out here. Actually, he's gonna get up his rocks on this turn. As I go for Whirlwind here, I'm trying to see what he wanted to do. He gets Whirlwind into his Nihilego, and right here he's gonna switch, going into his Slowking, and that was probably that was a bit of a misplay on his part, and I'll explain that a bit later. But I just go for the Earthquake there, seeing as that was probably my best play. And now I go into Togekiss. He goes for a Slack Off, and I'm gonna go for a Roost here, I believe, on this turn. Yeah, I go for a Roost as he goes for the Ice Beam. Not really doing anything because Roost does take away the flying type from me for that turn. But I go for Air Slash. He doesn't flinch. Ice Beam crits me, bringing me down to and after leftovers I'm at half. So now he's going to switch out, go into his Nihilego, and I'm going to click Air Slash and do 12% to that thing. So not really too much. So now I'm going to switch out, go into the Hippowdon here. Sand gets put up, and he's going to go for the Power Gem. Power Gem doesn't really do that much on this turn, but he's going to switch out here, go into the Slowking. And as I'm going to Whirlwind, I wanted to see what he was trying to do, and he goes into Dugtrio now, which is perfectly fine because that thing can't really do too much to me. And now I broke his Sash, which is even better. So now I can just get a free Slack off as he's going to go into Slowking. But then here I'm going to switch out, go into my Fortress now to try to scout if he has Flamethrower. I don't really need Fortress too much in this match. He goes for the Scald here, and I think, okay, let's try to set up some Toxic Spikes, but he does click Flamethrower and knock us out. Okay, so we're like, okay, he does have that. Good to know for Weavile later on. But now we're going to switch into Weavile here, just because we'll be able to hit him with Knockoff and just do a lot of damage. But he's going to go into his Hitmonchan. We knock off his Assault Vest. So now we know he was Assault Vest Hitmonchan here. So we can just switch out now, go into the Hippowdon, seeing as I won't really take much damage from this thing. He goes for a Mach Punch and barely does anything, because like 12%. And now he's going to go for Drain Punch, trying to knock me out. I'm trying to keep Hippowdon very healthy, seeing as we want Excadrill to possibly get a sweep later on. So he's going to go for Drain Punch here, and I'm going to go for the Slack Off, trying to get as much HP as possible for this Hippowdon. So he's going to switch out here, go into his Slowking, preserving his Hitmonchan for right now. I go for the EQ, and now I'm going to switch out, go into the Togekiss right now. As he goes for a Scald, he does get the burn here, which is unfortunate, but it's not really, doesn't really mean too much in the grand scheme of things. So he's going to switch out here, go into his Nihilego, as I click the Roost. So now I'm a bit over half right now, I'm at 62%. I'm going to switch out into my my Hippowdon, as on this turn, I believe it was this turn, yes, he does reveal the Grass Knot, and what I was mentioning before on how him not Grass Knotting earlier was a potential misplay, because at that point in the match, Sand was gone, which means I could not have swept at that point with Excadrill, which would have really just screwed up my game, and he probably would have won. He would have won right there, but now, because I switched into my Hippowdon, got Sand up, and he killed me that turn, I have the ability to sweep with Excadrill now. So now I'm going to go into Excadrill. He's not going to want to stay in on me. So this is a free Swords Dance right here. So he goes into his Miltank. I get up a free Swords Dance on this. And now I'm basically able to knock him out here. I would have possibly went for another Swords Dance, but at the same time I did not want to waste Sand turns. So I'm going to Iron Head that thing, knock it out. And we just get a bunch of kills here with Excadrill. So then he goes into Slowking. We Earthquake the Slowking, and we were talking after the match. I actually got the highest roll on his Slowking here, which is really unfortunate. But it definitely helped us. It definitely helped us out. It was really unfortunate to get that high roll on the Slowking there. I wonder how the match would have played out otherwise. I probably would have just switched into the Weavile at that point. But so Slowking goes down. He's gonna go into Hitmonchan here. And he's gonna Mach Punch, but we revealed the Chople Berry, and which I brought that specifically for the Hitmonchan. We knock that thing out, and now all he has left is Nihilego and Manaphy, and the Manaphy comes in here, and this turn like really had my heart racing, because I go for Earthquake. He lives, shows he's kind of defensive. He clicks Scald, and I live on 1%, which is absolutely insane for this match. And we're able to kill the Manaphy with that. But the thing is now, because he's defensive Manaphy, I don't have enough Sand turns to deal with the Nihilego. So we have to sacrifice a differential point at this stage of the game. So he goes for the Power Gem, knocks us out. And now you can get the Beast Boost, and Weavile could just come in and get that final kill with an Ice Shard, because he is now in range of an Ice Shard. Definitely GG to Shy. I'll leave his link in the description down below. We are now 1-1 with a -2 differential for this game. So we're still at the bottom of our division right now, but if we can score a win for our week 3 against our good buddy Hiker, then we should be in good shape. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this battle. Thank you all for watching. Be sure to check out Shy's link in the description below. Remember to rate, comment, subscribe, and share. And I will see you all next time.